Just to show you that I'm pretty flexible, even though I'm approaching, this is the grunge look. Before we move into the next number, a few years ago, there was an old gentleman we came across as we were working in one of the schools in Central Newfoundland. And through his nephew, we found out that he had been living in Bishop Falls for a number of years, and during the Second World War, went over to England, stationed there, and married there, and had not been back since. Originally, he was from Sunnyside, but through his nephew, he started sending along some poems to the school and some beautiful, beautiful prose. Myself and Horace Davis of Bishop Falls thought it was really nice stuff, so we took it upon ourselves to publish a little book. We call it The Punt with the Brindbag Sail. I'd just like to do an excerpt from this tonight for you. The old gentleman's name was Angus Temple, and about 4 years ago, we were able to have him come back to Bishop Falls the first time in Sunnyside, the first time since 1945 after the war. So it's indeed a pleasure, and it relates back to the days of my grandfather and your grandfather, because the story is about an old fisherman. He never had the package in those days, and he was struggling to find a few fish on the banks of Newfoundland. However, there was something ironical about this old fisherman. He was really afraid of the water, really afraid of it. And if the waves became any more than 4 or 5 inches high, he was petrified. And he did a thing that was uncommon to Newfoundland fishermen. He didn't stay on the ground that he was supposed to be on. He moved grounds this morning. It's called Punt with the Brindbag Sail. Joe Parsons was a fisherman, cunning and renowned. He often went to Frenchman's Cove, his favorite fishing ground. He had a tiny little punt which had a brindbag sail, but it was never seen among the men who hunts the whale. When it was calm, up went the sail, and he would scull or row, but it would soon come down again if it would start to blow. Now Joe was not a man of change, especially fishing grounds. He tried it once, an error great, and to his cost he found. One morning he got out of bed, and looking all around, he thought would be the proper thing to try another ground. He made himself a cup of tea, and had a bite to eat, and then he pushed his well-worn plate between his well-worn teeth. He got into his fishing boat for scarcely 6 o'clock, put up the sail, pushed out his oars, and he rowed to Brick Point Rock. Now, Brick Point Rock was far away, across the harbor wide. It was nearly 50 feet offshore, especially at high tide. When Joe got there, he anchored fast and looked down at the rock. He watched his fishing line go down, a mighty 2-foot drop. He caught a dozen conners, a flatfish and a trout, and then he felt a breeze of wind. It was coming from the south. Up came his line, down came the sail, and panic reigned supreme. A shipwreck, he could see it now, it was in his last night's dream. The wind grew strong, the waves rolled in a good 3 inches high. And there was every sign of rain, as dark clouds filled the sky. I know I'll drown, he shouted out, as loud as he could bawl. I wish I'd gone to Frenchman's Cove and not come here at all. And poor old Joe jumped overboard, and at the waves he swore. Up to his knees and ankles in water, he tried to swim ashore. And now as he dived forward, he got a nasty shock. He hit his head up on dry land against a fair-sized rock. Not cut, but badly shaken, Joe staggered to his feet. His well-worn plate had now gone out, but still between his teeth. By now his punt had drifted in, turned broadside to the shore, and so he grabbed his killick and threw it out once more. He lost his dozen conners, his flatfish and his trout. Now they managed to escape, pretty soon found it. He turned his rubbers upside down to let the water out, and inside the stockings there he found the conners and the trout. He also found the flatfish, but I cannot tell you where. But every time it flapped his tail, it made Joe feel right queer. Poor Joe, he caught pneumonia and later passed away. They say his ghost still haunts the rock right through this very day. So if Brick Point Rock you chance to cross and the wind is from the south, and you see a dozen conners, a flatfish and a trout, and if the ghostly form you see, don't panic or turn pale. It's only Joe out for his row and his punt with the brindbag sail. Angus Temple, thank you very much. Now, in keeping with the mood of the evening, it's a pleasure now to welcome Miss Comfort Cove, ladies and gentlemen.